Yo, what it do, YouTube, and welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be watching Game Theory's Fnaf: The Origins of Evil. Now that will be linked in the description. Going forward, I might just do more of reactions, and then, you know, I will have a separate gaming channel linked in the description for those who are interested in gaming.
Solved Fnaf, and the clue that brings it all together is this.
Don't you hate getting killed by obscure secondary characters?
But what the heck?
Hello,
Yes,
Internet.
sir.
Welcome
Game Theory,
to
bro.
Game
It's been too long.
Theory, where today I'm just gonna get straight to.
Hey, yo, that Fnaf movie though?
Firefighters from 3 different city departments have been called out to combat the flames at Fazbear's.
Y'all trying to go? I mean, we can go.
The point, this episode was supposed to be our final timeline, but you know what? It's not quite
It's always
there
supposed
yet.
to be the
I think
end,
we're
bro.
gonna have it ready for
Always.
next week. There's just a few wrinkles that we need to iron out about Elizabeth's death specifically, but
Okay.
otherwise, I feel really good about everything we've pieced together so far.
Okay.
That said, I wanted to put this episode up first regardless
Wait,
because it
Elizabeth died.
dives into a
Never
section of the
mind.
timeline that's likely going to be controversial, which is also a bad thing because it's the beginning of the timeline. Nothing like starting off
Right.
on the wrong foot, you know? So in order to head that one off at the past, let's just start talking about it now, shall we? Last episode, I brought up how the team and I have been
Okay, so I did react to that video. Yeah, fumbled the recording, bro.
tackling this whole timeline project. Basically, that we've broken down everything into 3 key sections. The foundation of Freddys, the Afton era, and
Right.
post-Purple Guy. In
Right.
that episode, we dug hard into the last chunk, trying to figure out the recent history with things like Fnaf VR and Security Breach. But even
Oh yeah, I got help wanted, bro. I finally got it. If you want to see it, I finally got help wanted, bro.
is the first chunk, the foundation of Freddys. You see, at this point, we all have a general basic knowledge of the games, right?
20 likes, 20 likes. No, 30, bro. 30,
Kids
I'll
die,
play it.
animatronics get possessed, all that good stuff.
I'll stream
but
it.
here, that foundational stuff right at the beginning, that's the murkiest because honestly, there's not a lot that's immediately clear that we can go off of.
Right.
Sure, there's a couple of lines from Phone Guy, maybe a sentence or two from the novels, but otherwise, it seems to be about it. How did William Afton and Henry Emily start working together?
That is a
Were they
great
rivals?
question.
Why did Afton start killing in the first place?
I want to know that so bad. Why did William Afton start, bro? Like, was it
Was
just...
Fredbear's Family
it
Diner
happened?
truly the first location? These are questions that seem important for us to answer, and honestly, if you're looking at where the timeline
What?
of
Whoa, what? Why he what?
these are questions
Why he Urple? Okay.
that seem important for
Was
us to answer.
was Fredbear's Family Diner really the first location? Why did William start killing? Okay.
And honestly, if you're looking at where the timeline of Five Nights at Freddy's really begins, it's with those sorts of questions.
Right.
The only problem is that the answers just might not exist anywhere in the canon yet. Or
Maybe
so
not,
I initially
because
thought.
at this point,
which
bro,
brings us to today's episode. I suspect that there
about to
may be
blow
a
our
way to
minds.
answer some, if
Let's
not
go.
all of those questions using a mix of evidence from the games, the books, and real-life lore. In the process, I think it'll help us get a better understanding of William Afton's motives, while also outlining a rough sequence of events that'll ultimately help place locations and other things when I tackle the full timeline of the series next week. And all of it hinges
He's gonna
on
do
one
another one?
thing, a set of obscure secondary characters named the Mediocre Melodies.
Bro, I remember seeing these on custom night, bro. By the way, yes, I'm a bitch. I didn't want to play custom night, okay? Hop off me. Like, bro, you go on that 2020 mode and die in 0.1 second, bro. But like, I remember seeing
Ned
these.
Bear, Pig Patch, Happy Frog, and of course, Mr. Hippo.
Sometimes a story is just a story.
Shut
You
the-
try to read into every little
Okay.
thing and find meaning in everything
Oh.
anyone says. You'll just
Oh.
drive yourself crazy.
Yeah.
He was speaking facts, bro. Never mind, Mr. Hippo.
I know, Mr. Hippo, I get it. That has
was
been
speaking
leveled at me
facts.
more times than I can count. But I think in this case, we actually didn't read into you enough. You see, when the Mediocres were first introduced in Pizzeria Simulator, we, as the community, largely dismissed them. And why wouldn't we? This is a game where you're pulling animatronics out of a dumpster. Trash and the gang are
yeah.
literally made of garbage. Why would we think that some random barnyard-themed characters would be worth our attention when there was already so much established lore inside of the thing? We beat the
Facts.
game, we solved the lore, we moved on. Then
Could you ever really solve FNAF lore though, bro? Like you
Custom Night
you
released,
honestly just can't
there
really
they
solve
were
it.
again. It was strange to
Yeah,
see him
see?
fill so many
They
slots,
weren't
but I
Custom
don't know,
Night.
there was also trash in the gang. And
Well,
Music Man.
Music Man.
Other random pulls from the character deep cuts. So maybe it was
Yo,
just
zoom
Scott
in on
trying
Foxy,
to fill out
though.
the roster. But then something unexpected happened. Well, they were mostly treated as a joke. If you died to them, every once in a while they'd give voice to the most important character and mystery from the game. The one you shouldn't have killed, Cassidy.
We've only just begun. I will never let you leave. I will never let you rest.
It was a huge
Oh.
revelation, and the lines that they spoke
I thought they
ultimately
didn't have a
helped us
soul.
to determine that Custom Night was William Afton's endless torment at the hands of the spirits inside the golden Freddy suit.
I
But
thought he
again,
didn't
none
have
of us
a-
ever
they
stopped
didn't
to
have
consider
souls,
why
though.
them? Why these characters? Why were they the ones that Cassidy was choosing to speak through? Why are they here? Well, after doing a lot of research for the grand
Wait. So Cassidy was speaking through Custom Night. I never knew that, bro. I feel like there's so much we still gotta do with FNAF that I see why you guys love it, bro.
Brawl
Like,
timeline.
there's so much we
No,
still
I
gotta
think I
do.
know. The Mediocre Melodies were Henry's creation from a time before he and William started working together. When the two men merged their ideas together to form one company, the Mediocres became temporary characters at Fredbear's Family Diner before eventually being retired and largely forgotten.
Oh,
yeah.
So they came before Freddy, Chica, Bonnie, Foxy. So they were like the originals. These characters that people are saying are like just knockoffs are the originals. Matt, bro,
That
explain.
is a lot of big swings that I'm making with some massive assumptions. So let's just rewind and take it one step at a time, shall we? First,
Okay.
how do we know that the Mediocre Melodies belong to Henry? Well, let's just look at their design. It's very simple. They're similar to the Endo 01 designs from the Fnaf 1 animatronics, but
Right.
even more rudimentary, with less flexible joints and less complex wiring. But the important point here is that for each one,
Okay.
the upper jaw and the lower jaw are entirely separate, operating using a
Right.
very basic hinge towards the back of the head, or
Instead
two
of, like,
metal bars that
springs.
slide up and down along the side. And you see, that right there is what tells us they belong to Henry. Well, there are plenty
okay.
of animatronics that fall into a nebulous zone of who designed them. There are a few pieces of tech that we can definitely trace back to their original creator.
that boy
the
Foxy,
Funtime
bro.
animatronics, for
Love
instance,
you.
definitely came from Afton. Not only were they designed with the intent of luring and capturing children, something that just doesn't jive with
Yeah.
Henry, but the blueprints outright have Afton Robotics written in the corner. Not much you can do to deny that one.
Okay.
Sound
Yeah,
illusion
true,
discs?
true.
Another Afton creation, considering the backs of them are stamped with his company name as we see in the graphic novels.
Afton
But the one I'm
Robotics.
most interested in
Okay.
today is Lefty.
Left a black bear. Yeah, that was corny, bro. Don't even look at me, bro.
Animatronic designed by Henry, used to capture his daughter the puppet during FNAF 6. That was clearly not an Afton project. This was purely Henry's doing in secret. So, knowing that, did you happen to notice the two straight metal rods in the schematics with the jaw fully detached from the top of the head? It's an
Oh,
exact
yeah,
match for
sure.
the design of Happy Frog. It's a Henry signature. But why does that matter? Well, the designs of the Mediocres also perfectly match up to the first generation of Freddy, Foxy, Bonnie, and Chica.
Yeah,
We know that
true.
the Wizards were the earliest form of our core 4 animatronics. These were the ones that had children stuffed inside of them and got possessed. They
Yeah.
outright tell us this fact in Ultimate Custom.
Wait,
Night.
so these were whoa. So these were Henry's designs that had body stuffed, and then he read it, bro.
Right,
Oh, yeah,
tell us
Chica,
this
Chica,
fact
Chica,
in
yeah.
Ultimate Custom Night.
I was the first. I have seen everything.
But have you ever stopped to look at how the
Never
Wizards
heard
were
how
constructed?
Chica sounds, bro. That's so odd.
They use the exact same techniques as the Mediocre Melodies. They have a full separation between the tops of their head and their jaws. Withered
Right.
Freddy and Foxy both have the hinge opening in the back like we see with Pig Patch, and Withered
Yeah.
Chica follows the Happy Frog and Lefty model with bars
What
in the
about
jaw
Bonnie?
to aid in opening and closing the mouth. Think this is just a coincidence? Look at Chica in other games.
Oh, I didn't mean to pause. I was trying to think, what about Bonnie? Because Bonnie, like, is he just like Freddy and Foxy, or like, are we getting to
Chica
it?
in FNAF 1, a fundamentally different design. Funtime Chica, definitely not. Toy
Yeah.
Chica, nope. The only other time we see this sort of fully separated head design for animatronics is with the FNAF 6 Rockstar animatronics. Ones that, again, we know were built by Henry as part of his plan to lure everyone back to his pizzeria trap. In short, the animatronic design seems to be giving us a timeline of events. The Mediocres and Wizards were built by Henry early in the timeline of the game.
Okay, so
Eventually-
Henry did build like the first edition animatronics, and then William like what stole his idea, moved on, and like changed the designs to, you know, put his own name onto it. William a hating ass motherfucker, bro, on me. You can't let Henry have his shine, bro. Like, come on.
Afton starts to influence the designs more and more until Henry
He stole his shit.
comes back to design the robots that were used for his pizzeria trap. But again, I asked,
stole
why
his
does
whole
any of this
design,
matter?
bro.
Isn't this just a minor detail? Me looking for connections where they don't really matter? No. Knowing that the Wizards and the Mediocre share a design seems like it might help explain another part of the lore, Happiest Day. In FNAF 3's Happiest Day minigame, we walk past children wearing masks that match the coloring and rough shape of the
Wait, that's the yeah, that's the frog and pig.
Mediocres.
Okay.
Pig, green frog, purple hippo, orange elephant, blue. Okay, not all of them match. But here's the thing, I'm not the one pointing that detail out. This is actually coming from Scott Cawthon himself. In the Five Nights at Freddy's Ultimate Guide, the character description for each Mediocre Melody calls this out as something worth noting. Quote, it's unconfirmed, but a child in the FNAF 3 Happiest Day minigame appears to be wearing a Happy Frog mask, Orville mask, Mr. Hippo mask. Every single entry mentions this specific detail. Seems like an odd fan theory to call so much attention to. And remember, Happiest Day is an exact recreation of the FNAF 4 pizzeria. We enter at the stage where Crying Child's bitten, we pass 3 tables, there's a bit of a gap, and then the final birthday table for the cake that's gonna set Crying Child's soul free. It seems to suggest that at some point the Mediocre Melodies existed in one version of the restaurant right alongside Freddy, Foxy, Bonnie, and Chica.
Yo, wait. So they were like, oh dude, that's actually kind of cool. So those animatronics were basically what inspired, or like not inspired, but what made the original FNAF animatronics that we know today. So they coexisted, and that's kind of crazy, bro. But I just want to know, how did they?
That be? Well, it's easier.
What happened to them, bro?
In the
like,
story of
where'd
the
they
Puppet
go?
Carver, we read about the Pizza Playground, a restaurant that seems to predate or be a competitor to Freddy's. And in it, we see that the franchise uses very rudimentary animatronics that break down a lot. There's a pig with a banjo, an off-brand bear named Baron Von Bear, and an unknown bird animatronic. It's the Mediocre Melodies, guys. Pig Patch, Ned Bear, and hold on, there's no bird in the Mediocre Melodies. Unless, of course, we're talking about Chica. What the story seems to heavily suggest is that Chica started at a different pizza franchise and eventually crossed over into Freddy's, becoming popular enough to eventually join the core 4. Also working at that pizza playground is a...
So Chica wasn't even a part of the big 3, bro. It was Foxy. Hop off his dick, bro. His animatronic dick, bro. Y'all be hating, talking about, oh, Foxy this. Why do you like Foxy? Because he's that nigga, bro. Foxy is black. Change my mind, bro.
Talented creator named Porter, someone who seems to have the ability to make wood-based animatronics come to life. In short, it's the book's stand-in for Henry. Henry may not be the most technologically advanced creator out there, but whatever he creates contains this certain X factor about it, a spark of life. It's how he's able to create endoskeletons out of nothing but wood. No power, no nothing, just wood and a childlike imagination. This, I think, starts to give us an important piece in the puzzle. Afton was the business guy, a tech bro who was smart and could build machines able to mimic voices and transform and launch giant claws out of their stomachs for no apparent reason. But it was Henry who had the pure love of his craft, that intangible thing that just couldn't be replicated.
So he started the animatronics.
Crazy. In the Silver
He
Eyes
was
novel,
jealous?
we read a bit about Afton's old journals, that they were, quote, full of...
What the heck, bro? Like, yo, this is mind-blowing, bro.
Paranoia. Passages about Henry
if I'm talking too much, if I'm pausing too much, let me know down in the comments. But hey,
from wild jealousy to near worship, which now gets us moving towards a motive. You see, one thing that I kept getting stuck on in the building of a timeline was the question of why. Why does Afton kill? And out of everyone, why?
Bro, if he comes through with the reason as to why, I'm going to lose my mind, bro.
Why does he kill Henry's daughter, Charlie, specifically? She is one of, if not the first victim of the entire series. So why does Afton do it? Just because he's evil? Just because he's drunk from the bar at Junior's?
Yeah, what's the
I think
point,
Afton both loved and hated his business partner. He admired him and his magic, but also despised him for his success. This contradiction starts to point us to Afton's motive for murder. It also finally helps helps
see,
give us a
bro.
framework for the early parts of their story. Loyal theorists, let me now point us to the most obvious place that we should have been looking for lore this entire
Chuck E.
time, the
Cheese.
history of the Chuck E. Cheese franchise.
Bro, oh my God, he's finna go in on the Chuck E. Cheese, bro. I've been waiting for, like, out of all the reactions I've done, I have a full playlist, bro. Of all the reactions I have done, bro, I have been waiting for him to bring up the Chuck E. Cheese incident, bro. I've been seeing so much, and I didn't want to hop in until I heard from someone who was, like, you know, really invested, bro.
Because in a
Plus, it
game
kinda
all
freaked
about
me out.
animatronic pizza restaurants, why would we not look to see what creative inspiration Scott might have gotten from the real-life franchise that started it all? I am so dumb. It took me
Let's go.
researching an episode over on food theory to finally realize that I should have at least considered this at some point during
Let's
the last
go.
7 years of solving FNAF. Major head test moment. Anyway,
Yeah, bro.
I did exactly
Let's
that,
go.
and what I learned was enlightening, to say the least. You
Okay.
See, what we now know of as Chuck E. Cheese actually started as the product of a feud between two rival animatronic pizza restaurants, Pizza Time Theater and Showbiz Pizza Place. Pizza
There was
Time was
two.
founded by a smart businessman who wanted to recreate Disneyland's Country Bear Jamboree. In the end,
Okay.
their onstage show wound up soulless and had no solid theme. Showbiz Pizza, meanwhile, had a creator who built better robotic attractions that were full of life. They also had a
Yeah,
solid
that's creepy.
theme where everyone had southern accents and a lot of charm. I mean, just watch the clips and the difference is immediately clear.
Like, happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, you get it?
See, we're all up here on the
Oh.
stage, and we can all turn, go around a big circle together. See, like this, our feet aren't screwed to the floor or bolted down. We can move. We got more moves than a can of worm. And
That is so creepy, bro. So cool and so creepy at the same
then
time.
that old 1-2 Billy Bob can come up there and stick his old ugly mug in your face.
To me, the battle between
Yo.
these two real-life pizza places, these two men, sounds a lot like the battle between William and Henry. A smart businessman who wanted to riff off Disney's Bear Show versus a talented artist that was building animatronics with actual life and good southern accents.
I was just waiting for you to drop your guard.
Even small details of the real
Oh,
life
that's
story
so
map
cool.
nicely onto the games. Like
the
fact
way it ties in together is always so cool,
these
bro.
pizza places had small cabaret stages off
I
to
love
the side
watching
for
these
extra
lore
acts to
videos
get
just
added
for that
later,
reason,
just like how
honestly.
Foxy stands alone in Pirate.
Whoa, I heard that wrong. Okay, so these are all the animatronics and Chica is by herself. Even Music Man had a spot, bro. Chica, you suck. Except for Toy Chica. You the best.
Is off to the side for extra acts to get added later, just like how Foxy stands
Okay.
alone in Pirate
Right,
Cove.
right,
A separate act that we see was the last one added to the core group before. In real
Right.
life, Pizza Time Theater, the one I most associate with William Afton, went heavily into debt and was forced to merge with Showbiz Pizza. That meant that, at least for a while, all the animatronics existed under one roof. But because the characters from Pizza Time were stronger for branding, specifically Chuck E. Cheese, that's the ones that they ultimately moved forward with. I suspect
Right.
that something similar happened in the games. William's bear-themed restaurant went heavily in debt. He gets saved by his rival Henry, and the two merged their restaurants together to create Fazbear Entertainment.
And that's where they were
Chica, a
partners.
Mediocre Melody, officially joins Fredbear's cast of friends, and the rest are slowly
Oh.
phased out to obscurity.
Because Chica was basically like their main attraction there, so that's why Chica was put in. So Foxy was in the big three. It's not Freddy, Bonnie, Chica. It's Freddy, Bonnie, Foxy. I don't know why I'm so happy about that, bro. Foxy just getting love means
And
a lot to
William,
me, bro.
angry and bitter, never truly lives down the humiliation of his failure,
It
prompting
means
him
so
to
much
lash
to me,
out
bro.
in drunken rage against Charlie
Like, it
one
means the
night
world.
behind the pizzeria. This feels right to me, to set up William as more
Okay.
than just an evil purple guy. This flow
Right.
of events actually gives him a reason to want to kill, a motive. It also
Yeah,
aligns
jealousy,
with a lot
bro.
of the interviews that Steel Wool Studios has been doing recently. J-Top, creative director at Steel Wool, recently acknowledged how important it is for your
Mm-hmm.
horror villain to be an actual, fully fleshed out, tragic character.
Try not to set out to make a cool looking villain.
Right.
You know, go make a monster that have a reason for it. Look at like anthology horror. Here's somebody doing something really, really bad. Like they murdered someone. Something happens, often ironically, that then comes back to bite them. A creature is created,
right.
a situation is created, and then they're judged and they get their just desserts. Every big, horror icon essentially fits that structure in a way. Why is Freddy Krueger popular? Well, it's a revenge story, isn't it? Miss
Yeah.
Voorhees, it's a revenge story. These aren't just like these supernatural forces that came out of nowhere to just hurt people and punish people. There were results of other wrongdoing.
William
Okay.
Afton, if I'm right, follows this exact pattern. His jealousy over Henry's skill causes him to lash out, which in turn dominoes to him building the very robots that'll eventually take Elizabeth and his crying child's son away from him. The other thing that this mediocre melody timing issue may help explain is Cassidy's death. In the Fazbear
Okay,
Frights books,
yeah,
there's
let's talk about
Andrew,
Cassidy.
who's
What's up?
basically the book stand-in for Cassidy. I know we're
Okay.
always supposed to take things in the books with a grain of salt, but Andrew here is an angry spirit that keeps William's soul tethered to a hellish purgatory so it can be punished again and again and again. He's also known to have had his body stuffed inside of Golden Freddy, so really the connections between the two aren't subtle. But Andrew...
What's up with them and him and stuffing bodies in animatronics though, bro? Like, you can't just... I don't even know like how to word that in the best way. It's just, bro, like, why does it have to go into an animatronic? Like, why is that your first thought to hide it there?
Andrew has two
And a
unusual
robotic
details about him.
stuff.
First, he wears
I
an
don't know.
alligator mask. Second, and even more strangely,
Okay.
it's repeatedly made clear that his soul is attached not to an animatronic or an endoskeleton or anything like that, but to a battery pack of all things.
battery.
Now that is unusual.
Wow.
He's stuffed into Golden Freddy, but his soul is in a battery pack. Where in this franchise do we see animatronics using battery packs, let alone off-branded animals using battery packs?
Funtime
It's
animatronics?
the Mediocre Melodies. Could they
Oh.
possibly have been around during the missing children's incident?
They ran
Given
on
what we already
batteries.
talked about with the Generation 1 Freddy, Foxy, Bonnie, and Chica matching the designs of the Mediocre Melodies, it's certainly possible. We
Okay.
also see that the Golden Freddy suit has the same Henry style of design in both
Yeah,
the
true.
Fazbear Frights illustrations as well as Fnaf 4.
Yo, is that Gregory, bro? Oh, that's supposed to be the crying child, I guess. I don't know.
For his minigames, we see that Golden Freddy has the separated jaw controlled by two straight bars, just like Lefty and just like Happy Frog. And last but certainly not least, we come all the way back around to the point that I started this whole episode with. Cassidy speaks through them, of all characters. Not through Golden Freddy, not through Fredbear, through the Mediocre Melodies, the animatronics with a battery pack. Just
With
thought
a
it was an
battery
interesting
pack.
series
Okay.
of connections.
I didn't
so
know
anyway,
they had
those were
batteries.
some
That's
stray
new.
observations that I've been kicking around about the Mediocres. What do you
That's
think? Do they
actually new,
have
bro.
greater lore importance to the story than we initially thought, or are they just meant to be a joke? Am I just falling victim to everything that Mr. Hippo warned me against? Let me know down
Yeah,
in the comments below
maybe.
now, because this is your last chance for them to affect the final FNAF timeline for 2022. Our interpretation of all the events in the series up
Okay.
to now. That episode will be coming in the next week or two. I swear, I am not putting it off anymore. We are gonna plow through this thing to the very end. We have gotta finish it. Gotta finish it.
It's probably
man.
gonna be
Gotta
a
finish
very
it. We're
long
so close.
episode,
Let's do it.
honestly,
So make
bro.
sure you subscribe to know when that one is uploaded, and in the meantime, remember, stay hydrated. I appreciate that today's theory might be a lot to swallow. Fortunately, you can wash it down with help from today's sponsor.
All right, gotta click off for the sponsor, bro. This video, oh my goodness, bro. I have not really sat down and watched some lore in a minute, and honestly, bro, it's pretty good. It's just about as good as when I left, bro. Like, amazing. Mwah. If you guys want to see more theories or just gaming videos in general, just general reactions, horror reactions, any type of reaction, this is going to be the channel. I'm going to put all my gaming, I'm really going to do a variety on my gaming channel, which will be linked in the description. And I really appreciate you guys for watching. Peace.
You win.
Perfect.